everybody. Welcome to the South Australian Sports Show. I hope you can stay with us for the next hour. You're nice and warm. Weather absolutely freezing the last couple of weeks here in Adelaide. Enough rain that we can probably start canoe racing down Anzac Highway. As I welcome Barry Curtin to the show. Baz, how are you?
Cold.
Cold,
mate. I don't like the cold.
No,
I just don't like the cold.
Hey, I want to get started on the bye weekend of the AFL.
Yep.
You came in with a good suggestion. I'd like to say it was mine, but it was yours, so I'll let you give it to the viewers. Your thoughts on it?
Well, I'm just unhappy with it. I don't like the bye. I don't like the length of the bye. I don't like the couple of weeks and wherever, because you get confused. You don't know who's playing, where they're playing, or who, why they're playing, or whatever. The ladder's never right. It's always a game out somewhere. It just, to me, I would just go, okay, let's go one week in the middle of the year, whatever, bang. The whole industry, bang, just has a break.
Yep.
Have a break. Just snap, bang, that's it. So everybody's not playing.
Yep.
That way, you get to, your state leagues can be promoted. So the SANFL can be promoted. So everybody will have to go to watch. If you want to watch the footy,
watch your club team.
Promote the SANFL.
Yep.
So it's that week. You could do that at the start of the year, Phil. You could say, okay, in June, that week in June, we're going to have the AFL bye.
Yep.
So SANFL clubs could then plan. So have that big weekend of SANFL footy so that everyone can get down to the local leagues or to the Adelaide Footy League or to the Southern Footy League or whatever to support your local team. And then everyone gets a break. And I'm not just talking about the players, I'm talking about the whole industry.
Gets a break.
Stop. Just full stop, take a breath, step back and have 1 week off. And then you can get back into it again.
I reckon what you're saying is brilliant. There's only one reason that can't happen.
What was that?
Channel 7.
Yeah,
they want the TV. So that, if they could work it out with Channel 7 a way to get around that, that massive following and viewing audience that they get with advertising and the big dollar, they'd be able to do it. But I agree with you. It'd be nice just to have it nice and clean. And everybody's on a level playing field. So,
that's right.
Well, we're talking about the bye, mate. Teams coming back off the bye have really struggled. There haven't been any good games. The teams that have come back haven't played well. Two teams played against each other, so inevitably one of them had to win, but it was a pretty poor game. Port Adelaide, back off the bye, of course, big game for them. Play Essendon at the MCG. Essendon not motoring all that well. You would just expect Port to win it.
You would.
So it'd be interesting to see whether the bye has disrupted the momentum that they've built.
You know, the interesting thing, Phil, was that a lot of those teams that came back off the bye started well.
Yep.
Bang. Kicked 2 or 3 goals. Bang. Here they go. So they're fresh today. They come and got beaten.
Yep.
So it's an interesting one, isn't it? I heard Ken Hinkley was asked that question about the bye, and he said that they never thought about it until he said, but stats don't lie. It doesn't look good for the teams coming back off the bye. So it'll be interesting to see how Port go on the weekend against the Bombers, which is a 6:55 game at the MCG. So and the Bombers, as you said, aren't travelling all that well. They got thumped by 3-0.
Yep.
But they ran Port to 5 points at Adelaide Oval only 8 weeks ago. It always gets me.
Yep.
Port played Essendon only 8 weeks ago. They played Geelong only 6 weeks ago. You're going to play them both again. It's an amazing draw.
It's an amazing draw. Of course, the Crows up against North Melbourne at Adelaide Oval on Saturday.
Well, flat track bully then.
Well, they played pretty well against it was a great game. Crows, Collingwood. I think it's got lost a little bit because of the umpire complaint slap in the face at the end.
Of course it did.
There are other things that happen over the course of a game that cause that. So you can never focus on one thing, but it's always the last one to remember. But it was a good game of footy.
It was a terrific game to watch, and I agree with you that the complaining about the free kick to Dawson and the local media saying that the Crows were robbed took a bit of the gloss off the actual game. I thought the Crows played really well.
Yep.
And they're a good team. Don't worry about that. The Crows probably deserve to be in the 8. But hey, like you said, there could have been a free kick paid at the 3-minute mark of that game that might have cost whatever. Yep. But I'd look at that, if I was Adelaide, I'd be looking at 1-8 in the first quarter and go, maybe that cost us, So forget about the umpires, because the umpires will make a blue, and I know people will say, if it happened to Port, you'd be... Well, it happens to Port every week, so don't worry about that.
Mate, have a quick look at the turnover column, mate. That'll tell you where there's enough mistakes to decide a game. Or 1 goal late. So
it was a great game of footy.
That's what I think got lost in it, that it was such a good game. Fantastic game. Came out and said they were hurting, and fair enough that they would be. And yes, there should have been a free, but I think it was just a great game of footy. Yeah. Hey, the Thunderbirds, mate, through the grand final, straight through. Tanya Hobbs has built them over the journey. She's taken a while. Absolutely. Big win in overtime by 2, so we've talked about it. It's
a fantastic win.
So you reckon the only disappointing part, of course, is that we don't get the game here.
Yes.
So
that's true.
There'll be some people who have to travel, but
I agree with that.
It's a really interesting one for us. Hey, we've got to get up and running.
Our best friend, Min Woo Lee.
Min Woo Lee, yeah.
What have we got? Well, he finished 4th in the Travellers on the weekend.
Yes.
His earnings now in the last 2 weeks,
Yes.
2.7 million in 2 weeks. He's our man from now on, Phil.
I'm giving him a call.
We're going to watch him.
We'll see if we can get him in for a chat.
We're going to watch him for sure.
A couple of $1 million. Hey, coming up on the show, got a big show. Craig Warman's going to join us, of course, the Southern Footy League. There's some surprise results over the weekend. Some big ones. Women's Soccer World Cup's only 20 days away, so we've got the West Adelaide coach, Tracy Jenkins, coming in with their recruit, English player, Olivia Bramley. A little bit talk about Westies. We want to talk about the World Cup because that is going to be big. Kelso is coming in, of course. Kelso McEwen's from the Rugby League joins us. He's bringing a young superstar from South Australia, Henry Silk. Good story. Young kid on his way to Brisbane, the whole family moving to pursue that. Now, roving reporter Greg Anderson's been out and about, caught up with Michael Taylor, an absolute superstar.
He was a great
in the
player,
world of footy here in Australia. So stay with us. Plenty coming up on the show. Back in a moment.